What's up, folks? Herb, the better Ragsdale, flying solo right now. Waiting on Rod. Um, he had a play date. I think his wife set him up with somebody else to go out. Or, you know what? The play date was probably for his kids. So whatever. It's a good thing he's not listening, so he doesn't know how I'm going to start this show out, so he can't be upset. So, hi to my family who's out by the pool. What's up? How are you guys doing? Yes, I'm down here in the dungeon while they're all out enjoying themselves, partaking of some beverages. It is Saturday night after all. Roll Tide, everybody. Um, so while we're talking, before we get really into it, Raj will be here in a minute. Another great recruiting day for Alabama. Another big win as we continue on with this 2026 recruiting cycle. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, what we've added, what's still on the horizon, and maybe even talk about those Hugh Freeze comments. Is everything going to change on August 1st, or is it just going to be better? So that'll be interesting. Recapping what we've been into. If you've missed our Tuesday night show, 8 p.m. Central, we've been running through other teams, mostly SEC, mostly on Alabama's schedule. This past weekend was Georgia. Randy was kind enough to jump in at the last minute and help us out with that show. It was a great show. It was a great show. I think people responded very well to it. Randy, my favorite part of all the shows with when we have the folks on is what do they think their team is going to be, what record wise. Randy kind of surprised us with a 9-3 prediction. He said it's a 9-3 team that he thinks will go 10-2. The comments exploded. We had a lot of undefeateds in there, 11-1. So people are still thinking highly of Georgia. I mean, they have Kirby Smart. I'll always believe in Kirby Smart. So it'll be interesting to see what shakes out this season. And of course, that trip to Athens looms large for the Tide. So still trying to figure out what's going to happen this Tuesday. But on the docket after that, you still have Auburn, Vanderbilt, which I never thought I'd say, and ending the series with Florida State. So we're missing a team in there. Let us know. We will try to get them on there, but that's what we got for a minute. Hold on one second. All right, let's see who's already in here. So Jay Bake is usually first. So if someone is going to unseat him, of course it had to be Cat. Roll Tide, Cat. So even Jay Bake's giving it the props. Cat is built different. So one of a legend, especially among the Alabama community and the Alabama podcasters community. So I agree. Straight up dog. And yes, appreciate it. What is that? Is that oh, okay. So it look different. What's up, Big Mike? How are you doing, sir? Big Mike, the man behind the scenes. Without Mike, you'd have no show. That's just pretty much it. So Mike, we appreciate you. Hope you're doing so. What up, Ariel? What's up? I hope you're all doing well in Georgia. Are y'all having a drink with us? Roll Tide. And what's up, Cotton? Cotton, part of the Way Offsides group. I always want to plug them, but I'm like, if you don't, like, everyone knows who they are. I mean, these guys are awesome. Another group that's way out of our league, but will always pop in to lend some support, lend a hand. Like if we message them offline, hey, they are there for us. We appreciate them. So those guys are always plugged in, always got some great stuff. So always appreciate seeing them. So what's up, Cotton? I know you guys were enjoying today too for the Way Outsides group. So and yes, we're stalling a little bit, trying to give Raj a chance to settle in and sit down. So see, Raj, you wanted to be a family man, and no, I'm just joking. He's gonna hate when I say that. So, but like I was saying, our last 3 podcasts of the year for this series, Auburn. I'm looking forward to the Auburn one, especially with what Hugh Freeze said. I actually had an Auburn guest over for the 4th, and she basically, you guys have seen her on here, Sadie, who helped us out with the brackets and was with predictions and everything. And she basically said August 1st. If something doesn't happen miraculous, like this season is going to be Hugh Freeze on the hot seat for real. So, which I already think he should be, but I guess that's up for debate. So in a couple of weeks, we'll get to talk a little bit more about that with our boy EC from the Auburn podcast. That should be fun. Then the Vandy one. I just, until last year, and then until the comments, by Hollywood and oh God, Pavia, I never thought we'd have a Vandy-centered podcast, but it is a new world. It's a new time. And so now Vandy is going to be in the house. So, which by the way, Roger, if you happen to be listening, when you log in, I'm not talking for the next 20 minutes. I'm just telling you that right now. Then we're going to end with Florida State. A lot of the Castellanos remarks feel like it was forever ago, but maybe about a month ago. Feels like it died down for a little bit and then popped right back up, and everyone is talking about it again. I don't know what made it kind of resurface, but it's interesting. Certain people are on the side of, Florida State's going to get you this year, and like most of the people are saying, why? First off, why put a target on your back, especially if you are a quarterback? It doesn't make sense. Second, when your team won 2 games last year, it doesn't make sense. His comments about him tearing up the ACC don't make sense. But you have kind of a revitalized Alabama team out for blood. First game. I've always said defenses are ahead of the offenses. So, you know it's going to take a little bit of time to work in. Why would you put yourself in that position? It makes no sense. And I mean, your teammates looking at you like, all right, you better back it up. If Castellanos throws any incomplete passes, any interceptions, any just total misreads, it's going to be a bad day for him. I would never. The Pavia thing to me was different. It was a reaction. He didn't even go that far, but it was a reaction to what Hollywood said. You gotta snap back at somebody. I totally understand that. I mean, that's fine. That's what you have to do. But Castellanos just kind of did it out of nowhere. And then he invoked the Nick Saban name, which I don't. These folks really want the downfall of Alabama. And they just keep saying that name, Nick Saban, Nick Saban, Nick Saban. So we're going to get into it more with the recruiting part of it, too. I'm holding a quote for Rodg, but it's just amazing. Oh, Nick Saban's not walking through that door. We don't need him to beat you, Florida State. I mean, how about worry about your own year and what's going on? So let's get a couple of the comments here. I mean, they beat us last year. So the fact that it's a revenge game coming in, Vandy is now in the spotlight. I will say this, last time you came to Tuscaloosa and you were talking trash, it didn't go well for you. But, hey, they're on a winning streak against us. They've won 1 out of the last 1 games. So they're in the spotlight. We get to talk to them. And let me say this, with the folks that we've reached out to for the series, they have all been – I mean, some of them, it's been so quick in saying yes that I was like, I thought this would be different. I thought we'd have to, talk about it or something. So it's been really good getting through that. So, and I guess unless you're like Clemson, you just really don't know better if you're in the ACC. So, is Ugly Brother in the house? With that goofy looking, what is up?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Punt the kids into the
No, man. We first of all, I apologize for my tardiness, man. We just had another play date. They had a play date yesterday, had a play date today. We came from a friend's
house. Kids had a play date.
Yeah.
Well, I told everybody you had a play date.
Well, the parents are there, obviously, but we went to a friend's house. I had a good time. Just recently got back a little later, so I apologize for my tardiness, but I hope I didn't miss too much.
No, I was basically rambling and talking about. I wanted to hold the subject because I knew you were going to get in here, so I talked a little about what we talked about this past week with Georgia, and then talking about that's where you'll see the comments on there. What our upcoming schedule is after this week. We figure out this week, and then we've got Auburn, Vandy, Florida State. So
as far as our
Tuesday nights.
Okay.
Yep.
Our summer series. That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you ready to roll tight?
Yeah. Roll tight.
Woo.
All right. So, who's all in here? Let's see. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Good evening, Big Mike, the Alpha or Cat. The Herb Rodg podcast. Oh, Jedediah Bake is in the building.
What?
Jedediah Bake is in the building.
Yes. And he was not first, so he was showing Kat some love.
Oh, wow.
So she made it
He's
in
late.
First.
Jay Bake was late. Wow. Zach Meager, thank you for joining us as well. We appreciate you.
So, Roger, you excited for the last 3 teams on the summer series?
Honestly, I'm excited for all the teams on there. But yeah, It's always good to kind of talk to opposing fans and see their point of view, their perspective on their specific team and what they have to say. And I always like hearing it from their view because a lot of them are realistic. Now you have some fans from other teams, and you have some Alabama fans, let's admit, that aren't always realistic about their perspective. So it's kind of hard to listen to sometimes. But I like hearing an honest opinion about your team.
I agree.
So I mean, I was watching an episode on another network a couple weeks ago, and they had some fans on, and their fan base was predicting 10-2, 11-1 from their specific team, and it was Auburn. Yeah. And I didn't quite see how that was going to happen, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
I don't know if they believe what they were saying, but that's what they said. So,
no.
Oh well.
I mean, they're saying stuff like that, and then half the people are picking an upset in Baylor in game 1. So it's like,
right.
Which one are you thinking here?
Which is a game we will be tuning into just for that reason. Just to see what's going on there. So.
All right. You want to get – so I hadn't really touched on it today. Alabama's still on fire as far as the recruitings.
Alabama's on fire. Huge pickup today. The 5-star cornerback, Jaira Edwards, I believe from Maryland. Huge pickup from us. That's just keeping the streak going. Me and you put out this list on TikTok maybe 2 weeks ago about 6 recruits that were trending towards Alabama. Looks like we've gotten just about all 6 of them. I think that if I had to recheck the list, there might be one still out there floating because I know there's still some guys that have July commitment dates, but we've gotten the big ones out of all those anyway. So, I mean, the whole, DeBoer and his team can't recruit in the South. We can go ahead and put that to rest. So,
can I say something too? I was watching our buddy Kangaroo Black had a show on with a
shout out to Kangaroo Black. Yes.
Yep. Coach was on there too. What's up, Jeff?
Jeff, shout out to Jeff. Shout out to the entire Way Offsides crew, man. Big things. Thank you for joining us.
Jay, what's up,
yes,
Jay?
sir.
Yeah, Jay, hey. So I tried to get my niece to make me a drink tonight, but she said I'm all out of ideas. So I guess sticking a pickle in the drink was the last idea.
That was her best idea.
And what up, Chris?
Chris, thank you.
Chris, we always stream to Facebook. I don't think. I think that. I guess you're posting on there, so that's what I've always wanted to know. Do all the comments come straight over? So that's good.
Yeah,
Coach Chris, man, great platform, great guy to talk about. Great to talk about Georgia football, but just great in general. If you want a guy who will break down games, and give it to you a good perspective, that's a good guy. And I've only ever watched, I think, 2 live stream of games: KB, Kangaroo Black, and Coach Chris.
Yep.
And Coach's was the Alabama-Georgia game last year.
Okay.
And he handled the ups and downs of that game as well as, like, I would have just been throwing stuff and whatever. And Chris handled the ups and the downs and made it a very entertaining show. So I'd tune into his stuff anytime. I can say the same about Georgia, though. So it's funny that these 2 look like the 1 and 2, like the only teams that are like kind of projected, I think, to maybe still number 1 class is Georgia and Alabama. So, but yeah, we're headed for it, man. So everybody saying what's up to Jeff. Jeff, you got to stop back by one night because you said we didn't tell you about the drinks last time you were here. So you got to jump back in with us another night.
Yes.
So. And everybody saying what's up. And we appreciate everybody who's tuning in for sure.
Yes.
So on KB's show, the guy on there was Ty, and I'm sorry I came in late. I didn't see Ty's last name, or I could throw you whatever. But Ty made one of the best points I've heard. He's like, "Look, Saban is not recruiting for this team, okay?
Right.
But if you are a guy who says, hey, Saban's still recruiting for Alabama, that's why they're doing so good. What you are saying is that these kids would rather be recruited to a team for a coach they're not even going to play for rather than for your team. So is that really what you guys think is happening? Saban is sitting down with it. Hey, Raj, I want you to come to this team. I'm not going to coach you,
right? But
some other good guys are. Is that honestly what people believe? Saban is sometimes not even at the games because of his game day commitments. And it might have been. I totally missed who it was. If you were watching KB's show right before this one, or it might even still be going. that would be who it is. So, and Jeff Cotton jumped on the same night that he saw the show. Like he saw the show and he posted in the comments and we said, come on. So we don't even need much advance warning. So whenever you're ready, brother, you're always welcome back. Bring a drink. Go ahead, Raj. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I think that's a good point that you made about the recruiting. And I wonder if people are taking all this because you remember the one weekend where Keelan Russell had to went to his sister's funeral and the coaches joined him. And then you started seeing all the pictures of that was the weekend that Coach Saban was on campus. Are people still taking that one weekend and using that as their excuse as far as he's doing the recruiting? And to Ty's point, if Ty was the gentleman who made that comment, then that's a really, really good point. They would rather go play for a program that Coach Saban helped to build and hope to kind of, level up as opposed to just another school. So, I mean, but to my first point, that's what I think people are doing. They saw that one picture of him that weekend, and they're just going to take that and roll with it. No, DeBoer and Courtney Morgan, they're not doing anything. Freddie, no, they're not doing anything. It's all Saban. Come on.
Right. Yeah. I think it's just a way of coping. The recruiting Coach
Saban still has the office there, all that type of stuff, but I don't think he's doing that much. He's going to let DeBoer do that. Coach Saban's like, listen, I did my time. I'm going to let DeBoer and his crew go ahead and handle that, and I'm going to back up. So. Yeah, and that's another good point that Kat made. People just want to find whatever excuses they can because their program isn't recruiting at the same level as us or Georgia or some other schools.
Right. Yeah, and you're clearly seeing some teams pull ahead. And now look, having the backing of your brand does help in the new NIL era. So teams are going to, if the money is similar, kids are going to gravitate towards a Texas or an Alabama or a Georgia first, right? But you still have to get the job done. It's out there for everybody. You saw the deal that Texas Tech did just to get their O-line. Right?
That's just for one offensive lineman, and it's like fully guaranteed. When I saw fully guaranteed on there, I was like, "Are you serious? Like, is this?"
I don't believe that because if he leaves, I don't think it can't be guaranteed.
That's another thing. When it's fully guaranteed, I'm like, okay, so that means there's really no restrictions. He can go out here. Let's just say he wants to play 4 games and say, you know what, I don't want to play anymore. I got my money, so I'm good. I want to transfer to another school. Is that what he's going to do? I can't see myself playing that much money fully guaranteed for an offensive tackle. You still got to get a quarterback. And with me saying this, I'm not throwing shade at Texas Tech. They might have a really good quarterback right now, but you still have to build around him. That one offensive tackle is not going to be the one scoring all your touchdowns.
No,
but
no.
It's crazy to just see fully guaranteed for a college player.
Yeah, I'm looking at their their national rank 42nd in 2025. Oh, hold on.
I thought they were supposed to have I thought Texas Tech was on the up and up. They're supposed to have a good season this year. Am I wrong about that?
I honestly, so that an excellent point with that, Rod. I'm looking at their recruiting rankings. National rank 22nd in the country right now for 2026 recruiting. So I think we're going to have to look more at that, what Texas Tech is expected of them. So full disclosure, Raj and I, first week of August, are planning to possibly still do our ACC Big 12 preview. Yes. So we'll have to grab somebody from the Big 12 because honestly, I haven't looked at it. It feels like it was wide open, I guess, still as far as that goes. So we're gonna have to find somebody in there to break it down. Hoping our Colorado guy could have come on, but it looks like only worked for him. But I don't know. I honestly haven't looked at him enough to see what this next year is going to be. What I do know about Texas Tech, Raj, is when the legislature first was even being thought of for NIL, they were the first team that I really remember coming out and saying, "Hey, this is how much we're spending on football," before anybody else said anything. So they are making a commitment. And if you're Texas Tech, why not now? Oklahoma, Texas are a year gone from your conference. The conference is wide open. Somebody needs to take the reins. Oklahoma State fell flat last year in it. And you don't know how long Colorado is really going to be relevant. Why not them? So instead of why not Auburn, why not Texas Tech, Raj?
I don't know. I think by them coming out and telling how much they're going to spend on football, do you think that was their way of kind of telling football recruits like, hey, come here because we're going to throw a lot of money at you?
Yes.
I think that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to get a jump on things and saying, listen, we'll pay you. And obviously they did with Felix, the offensive tackle. Again, I just don't see them spending that much money on offensive tackle. How much are you spending on a quarterback, a wide receiver, a running backs, so forth and so on? I don't get that.
Yeah. Look, Georgia does not have as many 5 stars as us, right? But they've got like 24 stars, I think is when I looked last. Your class is not going to be built on you just going out and getting the best, a couple 5 stars here and there. Right. Your class still needs to be filled out. So if you're breaking the bank for this one, and then the rest of your class is nothing, so I don't know. Hey, bait, stirring up trouble.
I'm actually Googling it right now because Joey McGuire, J Bake. I had to Google that though.
Oh, the Texas head coach. Oh, yeah. Bro, like Rod said, I would have known it without Googling it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Thank you, Justin, for joining us. We appreciate you.
And I agree. Like he's carving out a quick leg. People really just looked at that 9-4 and just wanted to dump on the man. And I was like, his first year here, and he still had a top 3. He had his number 3 last year. So
with that, I got a quick question with you. With the comment that we just flashed up with Justin.
What's up, Latoya?
Latoya, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you.
With the comment that Justin just published, what do you think DeBoer would have to accomplish at Alabama for him to have something called a dynasty?
3 titles?
In like what span? Like in like
3 over maybe 6. So
that's fair. That's fair.
3 over 6, but you need to be in the playoffs 5 of the 6 years.
That's fair.
It can't be
that's fair.
Win a title 6-6.
It's a playoff. Yeah.
Win a title 6-6. Win a title 6-6. So I'm spreading it out. Yeah. So 3 and 5. So that's where I'm at.
That's fine.
I'm
fine.
3 and 5 or 6 more than I am at 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yeah, I'm more on the 3 and 5, 3 and 6 type of thing because it's
Georgia won 2. Sorry, Raj. I should let
you cut me off.
Georgia won 2 back to back.
Yeah.
Alabama Standard. Shout out to Justin. Put on the title of the show on that Tuesday when Georgia won there. Do they have a dynasty?
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat was like, no, Georgia didn't have a dynasty. So we can't say that Georgia didn't have a dynasty with winning 2 in 3 years. And then if Alabama wins 2 in 3 years, that's a dynasty. So I don't feel like you can do it.
And I think it all comes – the reason I pose the question because I think it all comes down to what everybody's definition of a dynasty is winning back-to-back a dynasty. I don't know if that's necessarily a dynasty, but when you look at what Alabama did under the Saban era, I mean, they won 6 national championships over a span of years, and it wasn't just the championships, as we were relevant. We were in the playoffs and relevant throughout the majority of those years. We only missed it a few times.
Right.
So again, it's just everybody's definition of what a dynasty is. So
and Clemson won in 2016 and 2018.
Right.
And then has largely kind of been forgotten as far as that.
Right.
Nobody considers Clemson a dynasty.
Exactly, a dynasty. Right.
So that's kind of why. So no, right. Latoya, I mean, I like the comment. So and I like the different point of view. That's just my personal point of view is no on that one. But no, I like the thoughts because I feel like a lot of people think like that. So
and let's be honest, if DeBoer can get 1, that's fine with me. Of course, for him taking over the GOAT, that's a heck of an accomplishment. And of course, we want to see more than 1. But if you can win one of those, hey, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, especially in this new landscape, but back then, if you had a freshman on campus, you knew you were going to keep him 3 years and you could kind of build your team. Now you can win a title and still lose half your team.
Yep.
And, and really just not know. So this is what I was laughing at earlier. I saw this comment. So I was like, oh, Jeff getting them. So that's just my thoughts on the dynasty. I think the dynasty is definitely largely, you're going to make up how you feel. I'm losing my words now. You're going to make up how you feel about each dynasty.
Yes.
Right. That's just how I feel about it.
Exactly.
So, I agree. But kind of getting back to the original point with it, man. We did know a lot of these guys were coming recruiting wise, or felt like we knew it. But don't you feel like there's a different feeling once they actually say yes to it?
Yes, that's a very, very good question because everything prior to that is strictly rumor. And then when it comes to rumor and it comes to social media, let's be honest, and everybody in the chat knows, sometimes you don't know who to believe and what to believe and when to believe it. You just see things like when Hayes Fawcett makes that post with the elephant ×3, everybody went bananas that day because some people thought we were getting 3 recruits that day. it was so vague.
That's a good
It could have simply just meant, hey, Alabama will get 3 more recruits over the next 3 years. It could have meant anything.
Or it could have meant he had 3 big jars of peanuts he was eating. I mean, it could have meant anything. It could have meant to just.
It could have, to Herb's point, it could have meant he likes big jar of peanuts. But to your initial statement, it's good to get the verbal commit because it makes you feel at ease a little more. But let's be honest. We still need to get the written commit, which comes in December. And then even after that, because prior to that December commit, schools are still going to be in there talking to these players somehow or some way. They're still going to be on social media recruiting. And then even after that written commit, now you got to see how long you can keep these players. Let's be honest, out of all these guys we're recruiting, they're not all going to be at the University of Alabama over the next 3 to 4 years. Some of these guys are going to move around because they're not going to want to stay somewhere for a certain amount of time. They're not going to get playing time right away, and they're just not going to be that patient. Let's be honest. Some of them might be 3 stars. Some of them might be 4 stars. There might be some 5 stars that just want to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
Hayes got lost in the. Sorry, I was going to do them in order. Hayes got lost in the elephant sauce. Yes, and
he did. He did.
See, Mike, that's as good an explanation as any.
That's what I'm saying. It is. That's a good explanation, Mike. That's what Mike could. It could have meant anything, but we all went crazy. So.
Yep. So you had 2 questions, question and a comment on both. So we'll read both and then we'll comment on playoffs every year, but never wins it. Talking about Notre Dame.
Yep.
And NBC has agreed.
A playoff. If you can make the playoff every year, but if you don't make, you're not a dynasty. You can tell that. You can tell that to everybody. We made the playoff every year. Okay, how many championships did you win? Yeah, so, we didn't quite necessarily do that. So no.
The Bills went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost them all.
They were an AFC dynasty.
AFC dynasty. That, I mean,
heck of
the
a
Jay
team.
Banks original, you got to win one. You got
to win a championship. When you look back on the past years, you could tell people all the playoffs you went to, great accomplishment for your team and the school, etc. People are going to ask you, how many natties did you win? If you say 0, ain't gonna mean nothing.
Yeah. Let's take a team that finally broke through. They expanded the playoffs.
Notre Dame.
In state.
Okay.
No, Notre Dame has been in the playoffs though before.
Oh, you're right, because we kind of
we kind of.
No, wait. When we beat them, that was prior to that was 2012. Remember?
No, we beat them.
No, we beat them in the playoff too. Yeah,
we beat them in the playoffs.
I was referring to the 42-13 game when Eddie Lacy kind of was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Sorry about that. But then we played them again after that. Yeah.
Yeah, we did play them again when they were in the faux ACC.
Yep. So whatever you want to call that. Yep.
But Penn State. Let's say Penn State had made the playoffs this year, right?
Okay.
Let's say they make the next 4 playoffs in a row. Never even make the championship game.
Nothing.
You would never
No.
Franklin's probably still getting fired. They're like, okay, you've got to this point, you've plateaued,
right?
And you're never getting us past here. What's going on?
Right. And to your point for Penn State, apparently Drew Allar is supposed to be like Dan Marino this year or something like that because he's really he's high. He's ranked highly. And again, Herb's expression says it all for me too. I don't see where all this is coming from. We have a mutual friend who's thought high of Drew Allar the past 2 years. I don't see it. I don't get it. Congratulations. I think Penn State will probably make it to a playoff, but they're never going to win. They're not making it to a national championship game. So
yeah.
So well.
Sorry, I'm getting one of my favorite images here because Jeff just mentioned it.
The Najee hurdle. Yes.
So he comes up the middle, bounces on the outside.
Yep.
And then
That was it.
Do you know the only thing that kept this play from being a top 10 all time?
What?
He didn't score.
Yeah, but still.
He scores.
Do you think Najee was an out of all the all-time Alabama running backs, do you think Najee's underrated or rated fairly, or where would you put him?
Well, where do you rate him then? Where is he on your rankings right now of Alabama running backs?
That's a good question. I would say, and everybody in the chat, let us know, where do you have Najee Harris rated? I would say I'm
gonna get a couple comments while you think about it.
Go ahead. So I might.
That's what I don't get, and that's what our society has kind of gone through. Participation trophies. No, I want the whole thing. I'm almost like, if we're not winning the whole thing, what was the point of just getting there? So
I think
Jeff, we're going to talk about this again in
Yes.
August when we do our Alabama preview. Might do 2 nights of the preview, a Tuesday and a Saturday, to get as many people involved. So
Yeah.
and Jay Bake was with him there too. So
I would put
There's a
Najee
reason.
Harris probably maybe
that's
three or four. And I have Sean Alexander, Derrick Henry.
I agree with this, by the way.
Number 3.
Jay Bake is
Oh my gosh, Manti Te'o's good. What made this worse for Manti Te'o is remember when he recently went, or maybe a couple months ago, early in the year, he went on TV talking about how scared they were basically prior to their national championship game.
Yes.
So why would you do that? I guarantee you, all his former teammates were like, "Dude, shut up! Like, stop talking about that. Don't bring that up. We lost. It's bad enough."
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm with you, Raj. I was texting him, dude.
I'm like, dude, shut up. Yeah, you're making this a lot worse. The game was over a decade ago. Just shut up, dude. I would put Najee around 3 or 4, maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah. Was most yeah.
Probably
so to me, Raj.
Oh yeah.
No, Najee was in a different era of back where we could throw the ball to them a little bit more. So he's a little
I was about to say that
multi-purpose than the guys before him.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he had maybe one of the best catches against that LSU game that we lost, I think, in the back corner of the end zone. So Najee to me was more multi-purpose. But it's like you said, I mean, Derrick Henry still has to be up there. Sean Alexander. Why are you smiling? What?
I just had another question just popped into my head. Another what if.
Oh my. Hold on, let's get these out. Raj. Raj, is he over or underrated? Herb, depends on where you rate him. Well, to be fair, is he over or underrated? Okay, but are you putting him at 5 or 10?
I have a question for Herb. I have a question for Herb, and this is everybody in the chat.
King Henry, Sean Alexander, Mark Ingram, Bobby Humphrey, Najee.
I have a question for everybody in the chat. Who would you if you were DeBoer and you had to choose between one of these two guys for your team for this year? Which running back are you taking? Najee Harris or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Oh man.
One of them's got the speed, the other one's got the size and the power.
I'm going Najee.
Okay.
I'm going Najee, but every time Gibbs does something, I'll probably regret this answer.
Yes. Gibbs is so fast, it's ridiculous, dude.
I mean, but you see those two guys, you could have them both in the same backfield.
Yeah. What if we did? What if we had Gibbs and Najee? Oh my God! Never mind.
Do we still have Bill O'Brien as our offensive coordinator? It wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter. Yeah. And there was a lot of me. So Najee's just one of my favorite running backs ever.
Right.
But Gibbs, plus, I had Gibbs on my fantasy team this past year.
I know you did. You did.
Dude, Gibbs was just. Who won our fantasy football having Gibbs on their team?
8? What is it? 8-10? Wow. Okay. Yes, Herb won our fan. Herb was the commissioner of our league, and he won the league. Put that together. Don't know how that happened. Rigged.
I mean, I let you beat me, so hey.
Wow.
No, I agree with this. Gibbs would love this system, and he would love playing out there. So,
yes,
for sure. That'd be dangerous. How much is his buyout? Can we get him back from the Lions?
Do we have a Gibbs, Najee Harris on our team now? Like I'm thinking about our running backs. Jam Miller doesn't. I'm trying to think what is Jam Miller's comp? What would you put that? That's like a. I don't know. That's a different.
Because we had too much Bill O'Brien. That's why.
Yeah, I wish we had Gibbs for at least 1 or 2 more years, but that was.
Yes. Gibbs was before his time for us.
And when you talk about transfers, Gibbs was one that just really, really lucked up with the transfer portal. I mean, he really came up. Prior to him being at Georgia Tech, he was good, but then once he got to Bama, everybody knew who he was.
Yeah. Back then, they didn't want him, but now he was hot, and we were all on.
God.
Back then. I mean, why do you set me up for these lines if you don't want me to say them?
I'm still trying to figure out. We've been doing this podcast for 15 years. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 15 years ago when I was like 12.
Cheers. Cheers to Herb's young age.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Are we the only ones drinking? Where are the other drinks at tonight?
I'm pretty sure Jay Bake. No, I can't say that about Jay Bake. I haven't met him yet. I don't want to say that he's always drinking on Saturday night, but I don't know.
We're gonna find out Jay Bake doesn't drink or smoke or anything. He's gonna be like, no, guys, alcohol's for the devil.
Yeah, what?
We're like, what?
So are you saying like Jay Bake walks around wearing like suspenders and big glasses, and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. That was so weird, huh?
Yeah, it was. That was kind of taking a shot now.
Taking a shot now. You, Jay Bake. See. Jedediah Baker's drinking.
Jedediah. Raj.
Yes.
What are your top 5 drinks?
Just in general, or
in general,
bourbon, or just in general? What?
How about bourbons? Do you even have 5 bourbons that you like?
Honestly, probably not. Uncle Nearest would be my first one. I like Maker's Mark. I had it was a cognac, but I had Shannon Sharp's Shay Club Shay, whatever you call it today for the first time.
Did you drink it with Shannon Sharp or just?
I wish. Hey, with that being said, let's reach out to Shannon Sharp and see if we can get him on the show.
Yeah, he's not doing anything else these days, right?
I know. I met it. I had it at Jesse's house today. It was good. It was really, really good. This was something I could drink just straight by itself.
Was Jesse your play date?
Jesse was the father of the.
Oh, you got a play date, Raj. Got a play date.
We went to somebody's house. They have a daughter who goes to the same daycare as the twins. So we were at their house. Oh gosh.
Hey,
shout out to Jesse, man. Jesse's a cool dude.
We're doing a shot for Raj's play date.
No, that's so weird, dude. So weird.
Roll Tide to play dates, buddy.
Jesse, no, he's a good guy, man.
Is he
I had never had Shannon Sharp's cognac before. It was good. It was really good. I suggest you pick it up. So
Le Portier. Why is it named that? All right, let's. Yes, Jay Bake is a big overalls. You better have overalls on at Florida State then. Tallahassee.
Dude, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to bring to wear.
So whenever I get something new, which if my wife is watching, I haven't bought a new bottle in 27 years. For the rest of y'all, whenever I do buy a new bottle, I open it right away and take a sip just so I can breathe a little bit before I get another one. So
okay.
Yes, Jeff, Bob. Like he was one of the most frustrating OCs just ever. You know, Hotel. Yeah, I don't know. Bill O'Brien was just a tough one. That was just a tough one. Jesse's just a friend. Does Jesse's girl got it going on?
What?
That'd be a good friend of mine. Yep. Hard to find out about it. I'm trying to make mine. Yo. Just like Jeff, go get us all the trouble tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely doing it.
Yeah. Dude, I thought about. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Before we get into the top 5, I actually went on and tried to find a pair of Alabama overalls, like the shorts. That would be so. I know you're getting ready to look. That would be so cool to wear to the game, but I'd have to think about the heat and like, is this going to be comfortable? What type of fabric is this, and all that type of stuff.
I love how that's not what you're thinking of, and not the.
I don't care, dude. If hey, whatever it does for the pod, man, I'm just trying to get some attention.
All right, let's see what we got. So what was it you gave Shannon? So Uncle Nearest.
Oh yeah, Uncle Nearest is my favorite whiskey. Uncle Nearest, I like Makers. I like Texas, the TX whiskey. I like Club Shay Shannon. I put that in now to my top 5 as far as bourbons, cognacs, whatever you want to call it. After that, it's just different variations of different stuff. I mean, Crown Apple? I'll put Crown Apple as a whiskey in there if you want to.
Okay.
That'll always be top 5. I've been down with Crown Apple since they came out with the apple flavor. I think that's just always a go-to. You don't have to mix that with anything. You can drink that straight up. I would wear that. I would wear that. I would wear that. I would wear that. I don't know what the fabric is though. I don't know what the fabric's made of.
I'm saving it.
Don't, and you better not. If I see that at my house popping up as a gift, then I'm not wearing it then. So.
Oh,
they're lighting me up in the chat. Good Lord.
Bro, the first part. So this is what I understand. These there's two sites that have them. I haven't looked harder than this. The first site says $11.99, $11.95 is delivery. The next site says $74.95 is
yeah,
delivery.
no, we're not doing
Why
that.
are you offering that? What is even going on?
Sorry, no, I have an idea of what I want to wear already. So the biggest thing is going to be picking out which hat to wear because I feel like it's going to be scorching there and I don't want to be uncomfortable all day. But looking forward to it.
Rod, you don't wear a shirt under.
You can't. I'll be super musty that day. I wouldn't even give a darn. As long as we win the game, I don't care.
J-Bank definitely seems like a commando kind of guy.
How do you know that, Herb? How do you? That's so weird. Oh gosh, how do you know that?
I mean, you don't just look at Jebediah Bake, and say,
"Have you and Jedediah hung out secretly? Do we not know this?"
First off, look, just because on your play dates you guys might not wear underwear, like on my play dates, it's not something that we do or even
there are
discuss.
Kids at the dates. We're taking our kids to another kid's house.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. So weird. Oh my goodness. Ariel, thank you. I know Ariel's been in the chat, but sorry.
See?
I knew it. Jedediah and Herbert. Wow. That sounds like a name of a TV show.
Swamp Balls.
Swamp Balls doesn't sound, yeah. They would be, never mind. I'm not going to say it.
I mean, I usually go commando for the podcast, but that's different. That's nothing to do with it. So, Raj, do you have any favorites in this class, the recruiting?
I would say I like Xavier Griffin because I feel like that's a position that will need to be filled after this year. I think we're going to lose a lot of defensive players to the draft. I like that. I like the Nolan Wilson for the same reason. I like all the picks. I'm not going to lie. I like all the picks. I like Brian Williams. I like Brian Williams as a wide receiver. I think he's got some good size to him. So, dude, I like all the picks. I like all the picks. I'm just at a point right now where I got to take a look at the list to see what else is to come as far as our recruiting stage. So, and then I want to see our updated. Where are we at now on 247? Like our updated ranking. I think we're like 6 or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
I have to double check that.
What I was clicking on earlier, I thought said 3, but I think.
And where is Auburn?
So Bama 24/7 says 5. Okay. I don't think they have a list for Auburn still on it.
And does that lead into our next topic?
I don't. Let's see. Auburn.
They're like 70. They're like 85th. After Idaho. Good gracious. Name some of the teams ahead of them.
But they have have Hezekiah, so that's a.
Is that Jedediah's cousin?
That's so weird. Okay. All right, let's see. So just to start, when you go click on the recruiting rankings, whenever you want to find Auburn, you have to go click load more.
What website are you on?
I'm on 24/7. So for Auburn, you have to click more or load more.
Oh my god!
So it already tells you. So 47 is Wisconsin, 48 is Vanderbilt, 49 is Duke, and 50 is USF. So that's already bad.
So on 247, that's 2025. My bad. Let me look at 2026.
So then you come on down, Raj. Missouri is in 74th. Tulane is 75th. My finger's getting tired. Virginia is 83rd. Tulsa's 84th. And Auburn is 85th. But Auburn has previously said, yeah, this is definitely where the unhinged comes from. Auburn has said on August 1st, when you can actually offer these deals, it all falls apart, and I guess that's when they rise up in the rankings.
What's gonna happen? Tell me that.
I don't know. I guess he's thinking that people have been promised stuff that they can't actually come, can actually do.
Yeah,
is the way I read it. So
okay.
Okay. Let's say everybody else's classes fall apart. Does Auburn think that they're grabbing all these people? So that's not the only thing I didn't like is the not part. So, but why Auburn is really what it is. That's maybe I'll go to J-Bait. That's probably the best explanation I've heard because otherwise I don't know what they think is happening on August 1st.
Does Auburn know that the University of Idaho is beating them in recruiting right now?
They are trying to talk about any other stuff. I've gone on a couple podcasts and like the conversations are on like the people they have and any transfer portal stuff versus what the recruiting rate. Like I said, I talked to Sadie yesterday and she was like, something's got to change.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. So yeah. Now this is one of the best comments. They're filling out the paperwork right now. They calling Trump, hey man, can I borrow a buck?
What do you think Auburn's record needs to be this year in order for them to what term can I insert here? In order for them to have a good recruiting class in 2026, I don't know. And so forth and so on.
I mean, you're almost at the point, Raj, where you got to have a 10-2.
Not gonna happen,
right? Just to justify this. I mean, the worse your recruiting goes, right? The better you want to see your team. So, I mean, if you're at this point, Raj, you almost need an undefeated season. But since you asked, let's go ahead. Make a bowl game, Hugh Freeze. I just like your sights have to be set on more.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get with them. Well, let's go ahead and grab this bad boy. Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
Oh, be quiet.
I mean, there's people that think Baylor could be a loss, right?
I'm one of them.
Jebediah thinks that South Alabama is winning 30-28 or 31.
Jedediah Bake has said it 30-28 several times on several different platforms. Right? So he's sticking with that.
Yep. I could easily see them losing at Oklahoma and at Texas A&M, losing at home to Georgia. I could just see Arkansas surprising them just because. And definitely losing against Alabama. I wouldn't say definitely, but you could easily get an 8-4 season out of this.
So right now, for the Baylor game, it's Auburn by 2.5 points.
Yeah.
That means that's going to be a close game. So again, Herb and I will be tuning into that one wherever the heck we're at. So we'll figure that out.
Yo.
And I'm not going to be watching that game out of entertainment. I'm just going to do that. Just beat Auburn. I don't care what the score is. Just beat them.
Basically. Yeah. Maybe we need to get a Baylor person to come in Saturday night and have a drink. We'll be like, hey, look, we're not that interested in your program. We just want to know if you're going to beat Auburn.
Yes, that's it. See, we don't have to talk to you that much. We don't want to hear you talk. Just do your job.
If Auburn starts out the year losing to Baylor and then winning, who was that, Ball State or whatever, then losing to South Alabama, Hugh Freeze getting fired right there.
Yep.
Oh, did your play date wear you out? Are you tired?
No, I'm fine.
No. Did he serve you like warm milk? Is that what you guys drink after the
Jesse's a cool guy, man.
Yeah. Did you get him to subscribe to the podcast?
I sent him the link. So we shall see. We talked about it. Talked about some other stuff. So we'll see.
Is it about to be Jesse and Rodg podcast?
I don't. No, we haven't got that far. This is the Herb and Rodg podcast all the way. We're hoping to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of tonight.
Wow, that's kind of shooting high.
Yeah.
Baylor's quarterback Sawyer Robertson. Maybe means Walker White. Excuse me, is second.
Oh wow, what?
Yeah, he was from Auburn, right? I think that's who Jay Baker is talking about.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I believe.
But I didn't realize that Auburn was only favored by 2.5 in that first game. That's going to be a close game.
Yup. I don't know anything about Sawyer Robertson. I mean, Sawyer Robertson came from Mississippi State, so their starter came from Mississippi State, and their backup is from Auburn, Jay Baker. So,
all right, cool.
This is what he was talking about with Auburn quarterback. So,
streaking.
What is going on?
I forgot Auburn has
Yeah.
Kobe Prentice. I forgot about him.
Auburn does?
Yep, that's where he transferred to. I mean Baylor. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Rodg gave his. Xavier Griffin was his, and who's your first one, Raj? Xavier Griffin.
Xavier Griffin was the first one. I also said Nolan Wilson. I forgot Cedarian Morgan. I like his size too. I mentioned Cedarian Morgan and Brian Williams as well, but honestly, all six of them, all of them, I'm excited about. But Xavier Griffin, because that position will need to be filled the most. But Cedarian Morgan has some good height to him. I think he's 6'4". So
Cedarian Morgan is my favorite. Go ahead, Raj. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you interrupted me like you do all this time. Go ahead.
I'm drinking. You go ahead.
Cedarian Morgan is 6'4", 210. So that height's going to help us out. So we're good. We're good there.
Cast talking about Jira Edwards from today.
Jira Edwards, yep. Because Jira Edwards is. Can you imagine Jira Edwards and Dijon Lee back there?
No, nobody ever throw the ball. So
I know, right?
No, Cedarian Morgan just because I'm more of an offensive guy. That's why he's one of my favorites out of this class.
Yeah, me too.
And plus, Ricky knows, that's from his Ricky's hometown, Benjamin Russell.
Cedarian Morgan.
So he's been talking about him for a long time. Yep. So he knows his family and everything.
Oh, Benjamin Russell. Yeah. Forgot.
Yep.
So.
And then, honestly, going down the list, I like JJ Finch.
Okay.
Huge size as a 3-star, and we had our time where we showed the 3 stars some love. I feel like that's still how you got to build your program. So
right.
Definitely agree. The office is going to be filled out nicely, and the pipeline is going to be this definitely going to be there. I think this might be one of our best groups. But you think about 2 years from now, even after Ryan Williams leaves, the group is still going to be great. So
yes. Agreed. You got to start somewhere. So
that's another good one too, as well.
Yep. And again, all these names are great. I just hope we can keep as many as we can over the next couple of years. That's going to be the hard part. So,
yeah. And Johnson was an edge, currently rated as a 3-star, but good size, 6'3", 262. And like you always say, Raj, the Bama bump will happen. So
that'll happen to Brian Williams. That'll probably happen to Owen Cabell. It'll happen to. I know there's a name I'm missing, but it'll happen.
Yep. All right, Ross, to the other topic that we had on there. Cole Kubelik, actually, we've been stealing off his list every week, but he didn't do a top 5 yet on the DB groups. So I went to, what's up, Kelly? How are you doing?
Kelly, thank you for joining us.
Never late, always on time. No, it's not a party till you get here. And we appreciate you. Yeah. So I went into PFF and see what they had graded.
Okay. What do they got?
They did all over, though, not just SEC. We were not number one. Do you want to take a guess what SEC team, I'll give you 2 guesses, was number 1 PFF defensive back group? Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we made Harold Perkins to the star position. Why would we do that?
Harold Perkins.
I didn't look at, but I know there was a lot of consternation about if he was coming back and what was going to happen.
A lot of what?
But even on our LSU show, we didn't even talk about that. So that is an interesting one. So if you see us on next Saturday, we'll do some research into it, and maybe we'll answer that question then. So that's something to look at. Unless somebody else in the chat already knows about that. I didn't realize that. And honestly, to me, I mean, it's clearly 50-50. Did the coach want to do this? Or was this like a player and his representative saying, this is what I want to do to maximize my value? You know what I mean? So it's like, yep. So you just never know. Kind of like the Mbakwe thing. If I come back, this is what I want,
Right. Okay.
Consternation. Ain't no constipation here. I've been very
okay. That's enough. Yeah.
So, yes, Texas had their top group. Texas has their number 1 linebacker unit and their number 1 secondary as far as PFF. So their number 4 safety, number 6 cornerback with Michael Teffy and Malik Muhammad. And that was just a solid group for them. Alabama was number 2.
Okay.
First 2 names they mentioned in here, Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb.
Keon Sabb, yep.
Yeah. Love
Dude,
that group back there.
I think it'll be vital for Alabama to get Dijon Lee on the field as much as possible this year too. I know he's going to be a freshman, but I feel like just working him in there, maybe the Louisiana Monroe and some of these other games. Oh wow, okay. They got to get Dijon Lee on the field as much as possible this year. I think he's going to be the leading DB going forward, so get him out there.
Yeah. Yep. But loved their group. Love those two in the back. So Raj, who do you think is going to lead Alabama interceptions this next year?
Good Lord. Good question.
We got asked this on Talking Bama on Sunday nights. And so I know what answers we gave.
Right.
But with this being the second best DB group, what is your answer?
I'm going to go with Sab. I feel like Bray Hubbard was the first name to come to mind, but I'm going to go with Sab as long as he can stay fully healthy. Because I think Sab had 2 interceptions last year. But then he got hurt. So I'm going to go with Keon Sab to answer the question.
What is everybody's favorite constellation? That's what Jay Bake wants to know. We're consummating under the constellations. And hope you're
it has nothing to do with Constellanos or whatever his name is.
Oh, now you're getting into it. See?
Yeah. Okay.
So the first answer given on the show was Bray Hubbard. I went with Keon Sab. I definitely think it's gonna be one of the safeties. The DB group is just is so locked down that I don't know how much you're gonna throw at anyway.
It's easier if you're a safety, especially for those deep balls, because you're hanging back there.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get a good gauge on where the ball's going, and you can kind of get a jump on everything. So it's easier to get it from a safety spot. So
you want an interesting question here?
What's up? Why do y'all think? Whoa, who do y'all think will score first for Bama? Oh, good. That's a very good question. I'm gonna go with the Germinator.
Really?
Yes, I'm gonna go with the Germinator. I could see it either being him or a running play with Jam Miller, but I'm gonna go with the Germinator. I think it's gonna be a nice little pass.
I'm gonna go with an off the wall then. Daniel Hill. I feel like we're gonna drive down. We're going to get to something like a 3rd down, 3rd and 2 or something like that. And they're going to let him punch it in as our 3rd down back or as our big back, our goal line back. So I'm going to say we make a statement on one of our first drives and Hill as a really, really surprise one. Now, Roll Tide, Mimi.
Roll Tide, Remy. Thank you for joining us.
I absolutely hope Ryan wins because that means we've chucked up some deep ball or some spectacular play and we don't even have to worry about a drive. We just
scored. Exactly.
This, I would also accept this.
That would be dope. That would be dope. And I would love that for Bach because that would be his way to kind of carve out what his position for the team is going to be this year. Because we've already talked about him, like is he going to play offense or defense, and regardless of which one he chooses, he's not going to be top 3 or any of these depth charts. He's going to be a little lower. So let them kick the ball off to us. Let him run one back. That'll make his game right there. Perfect for him. So
And Latoya, who asked the question, great question, Latoya. Appreciate it. She was with Mbakwe on the kickoff return.
That'd be dope. Awesome. I would love to see
that. Look at Cat come out bold too as well. Pick 6. So whoever's right on this, we'll give you a title towel. You already have one.
How are we going to remember all this?
We'll just have to remember the show.
That's not going
to Or whoever's in here does it will remind us.
Herb will rewind the film. I'll make sure Herb rewinds the film.
5 is first touchdown.
Yes.
Maybe we'll ask that again on another one too.
Just to let people know, Herb's actually not writing anything down. He's probably just scribbling with his finger. So he does this all the time. When I talk to him, he doesn't write down any. Oh, he gave me the pinky. Let me shut up. It's like a death threat.
I agree, Jay. Let's just get a score.
Let's just score. Yeah.
Fun, so, what do you say?
Yep.
I miss those days. Yep. She's also like I said, kick return person. We get a pick 6. Or dang, Toya's thinking really bold. Hey, I like this. This would make me so. First off, this is the part that because she said it with the pick 6, right? And then we're following up with that one. If he talked all that trash and throws a pick 6 on their first drive,
take him out. Take him out the game. Take him out the game.
It.
Castellanos will be Costa gone. No, sorry.
But my jokes are lame.
Your jokes are real lame. That wasn't lame. That wasn't that funny.
All right, Rod. Since I'm ahead of you, roll Tide.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Okay. All right.
We definitely got to get a sponsor for Saturday nights.
We do. Club Shay Shay.
We do.
Cheers.
Roll Tide.
All right.
I'm partying with some old folks tonight, so I know when I go back up, it's almost 9 o'clock. Half of them will be asleep.
Yeah, that's how it is.
All right. So the rest of the top 5 in that PFF group, Raj: Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State.
All right.
Oh, I hate reading the Ohio State one. The first name that pops up is a name I just don't want to remember anymore. So.
Dude, I know.
Clemson is poised to make some waves this year.
They've got one of the best QBs in college football this year, returning QB in Cade Klubnik. They're going to have a really, really good defense. I just don't know if Cade has all the weapons around him in order for them to be successful. That's my big question for Cade, for Cade and Clemson. So, and I mean, they're going to win the ACC unless anything crazy happens. So they'll be in the playoff.
I love when your wife waits till you're in the middle of a show to text you something that could have been asked at any other time. So.
Wives. What? Who said that?
Your wife set up a great play date for you. You should be a little more respectful.
We brought our kid. You're blowing this way out of proportion.
That's what I do. Did you know that over dramatic is actually my middle name?
Your middle name is Sylvester.
Sylvester / over dramatic. So.
Oh my gosh.
They basically gonna get kicked out the stadium. Hey, if you get kicked out the stadium, we'll still meet afterwards for a drink, man. So
yes, of course.
She's making or taking. If she's making, we call that like
painkillers. Just be careful with those. I'm assuming that's.
But she said she didn't say she's taking them. She says she's making them. Like she's like Walter White, basically. So
okay, I see you. Go ahead, Kelly. Hey, we're not knocking your game, Kelly. Do what you got to do to make some bread.
Yeah, don't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
So. Do you think there's any chance that we're let down by this Alabama defense that we've been hyping up all this year?
You mean all year?
Yeah.
But that's a really good question. No, I'm going to say no. Barring no major injuries, I don't think we get let down by the defense. I will say this. There are going to be a few games when the defense lets us down, but overall, I would say no. I don't think it's going to be at a point where we lose some games we shouldn't have lost. I think they'll bounce back, but you are going to see them with some bad plays here and now. So it's going to happen a little bit, but yeah. To Cam's point, I don't think they're going to. Mm-hmm. I think they'll still lead us to at least 10-2 minimum ceiling.
Yeah.
Floor. I'm sorry.
I also think that the offense will be able to carry us better this year. If we're down.
Oh yeah.
And I also think the offense will have a good mixture of we'll be able to do ball control if it's time, and we'll also be able to be explosive if it's time. So
agreed.
And Latoya, this is why I ask it, because I think the defense, even in the little glimpses I've seen and how much I love the offense, I think the defense is still way ahead of the offense. And I think they are what's going to carry us when it gets bad. So that's why I wonder, are we hyping ourselves up too much at all? Or is what we think, what it's going to be? Because I'm an offensive guy. I'm the guy that probably named like 20 wide receivers and not name like the whole defensive line just because I love the wide receiver position.
Yes,
but
yes.
The defense is going to be it this year for sure.
Agreed, Latoya. It's giving those old school vibes of the team back in 15, 16. Those are the vibes it's giving us, but we just need to see it on the field.
I agree. Sorry, Raj, we're kind of getting towards that point. We got family upstairs I want to get back to. Did you want to talk really briefly about the trade that brought our boy Minka back to your Dolphins?
Yep.
And got rid of Jalen Ramsey, but you also lost Jonnu Smith.
So let me get this. Okay.
And then you went and got a guy off the couch.
Darren Waller.
Play tight.
So I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. So, and this was dating back for not because Tua and Minka and all that and Jalen Waddle, but we used to live in Florida in the late 80s, 87 to like 90. And I was a Dan Marino fan, which is why I stuck with the Dolphins ever since the late 80s. So recently, and this was like 2 separate trades from my understanding, 2 or 3 separate trades. One of them was Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Correct.
To answer that question, I'm perfectly fine with. Minkah's a little younger. He was a Pro Bowler in 2024. I'm okay with it. I've always been a big Minkah fan since he's with Alabama. I'm okay with that. Perfectly fine with that. I was not okay with us letting go of Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith was our second leading receiver last year. He had a career year, a Pro Bowl year. Throughout the season, he was the safety net for Tua Tagovailoa, much as Brock Bowers was the safety net to Carson Beck. That's how Jonnu Smith was with Tua last year. I was not okay with that at all. I wish we could have kept him. I guess they wanted to get rid of his contract to save some money, so that's why they got Darren Waller off the couch. I just don't know.
Raj, that was
I don't
wild.
know. I just don't know how much Darren Waller has been working out. I like when you retire. Some guys take the mindset, hey, I'm still going to work out, do my daily activities. Darren Waller was out there making rap songs and stuff. So I don't know what he's been doing. I don't know what type of shape he's been in, but no, he was. He seriously was. He made.
No, I know you're right. That's what makes me laugh. You're absolutely right. You're thinking
something made the Dolphins organization want to sign him. So I'm assuming he had
his
some
position
workouts.
coach is y'all's coach.
Okay, yeah.
So it is a former coach, but that would have been enough for me to call him. Go ahead.
So if Darren Waller can produce and get maybe 400 receiving yards and a few touchdowns, then I say that's not Jonnu Smith, but it will survive. And let's be honest, offensively, it's all going to come down to Tua, and I've mentioned this a gajillion times. Like if Tua can stay healthy, I can see this Dolphins team making a wild card and making the playoffs. We're not going to win the division because of Buffalo, but we could still win the wild card or get a wild card to make it to the playoffs, and that's fine with me. That's a successful season. So again, we get Minkah, we got Waller. Let's see what Tua can do.
I'm with it. I like it. Yep. And the reports you read, the reason why they were willing to get rid of Smith was because the offense goes through Waddle and Hill, and I think whoever the tight end is, they make them look good. Do you think Hill, Waddle, and Tua can all be healthy enough to make this offense run for a whole season?
Unfortunately not. It seems like when Tua's hurt, Waddle misses, or when Tua's out, Tua's out. When Tua's healthy, Waddle might miss a few games. Tyreek, let's be honest, he's been healthy for the majority of the part of this past few seasons. He's missed a few games here and there, but he's been the healthiest out of all of them. Tua's situation, his concerns are obviously completely different. We know what's going on with Tua. It's going to be a matter of whether or not he wants to protect himself throughout the season. Waddle gets banged up from time to time. I don't see all of them staying healthy throughout the entire season. So
that's the problem.
I feel like all of them are going to miss a few games here and there, but Tua is going to be the main anchor of the whole team. Because once Tua's out, our offense is just horrible. They have no idea what to do. We don't have anybody to throw the ball. Oh wait, we have Quinn Ewers now,
who you're not happy with at all.
I was not happy. We should have got Will Howard. He was bigger, stronger, more durable, more versatile, more mobile. I think he would have been a better pick. Not as good as pocket passer as Quinn Ewers, but he could take some hits and stay in the game. So if Quinn goes out there and
keeps on ticking.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Let's finish out with the Alabama comments that are in there real quick.
Okay.
2016 vibes. I love that. So, and there was a comment, Latoya. So one thing we have been following the Cole Kublik list. I think we'll pull out the defensive line one for next week.
Yep.
And we'll discuss that and where Alabama ranks out of that one. So that's a good one there.
Yep.
So, and that's what I think we've been harping on too, Kat. They get to start off the season better than they did last year. So I love that.
Agreed.
So we tailgating, yeah. Mate, we're going for the whole experience. We'll be there by Friday afternoon. We're hanging out Friday night at a place that serves great water. Purified myself.
Friday night. We have to find somewhere to watch the Baylor Auburn game, and we'll figure all that out. And we'll definitely keep in touch with Jedediah Bake, and we'll figure all that stuff out. And our dad was retired Army, so we were stationed in Cocoa Beach, Florida, on Patrick Air Force Base from '87 to '90. and I became a huge Dan Marino fan. There were no Jacksonville Jaguars. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their ugly orange uniforms and the Dolphins. I chose the Dolphins, and stuck with Dan Marino since then. And that the Dolphins will always be my team. I'm just hoping one day we win the Super Bowl while I'm alive. I just hope that happens, man. But I got to ride with my Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Was there any of the NBA ones that you wanted to? We can save that till.
No, we're good. We'll save it for that. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Folks, we don't know if we can ever stress how much we appreciate comments and helping us get through these shows and you guys tuning in and us having fun. Appreciate my family upstairs who gave us an extra subscription today.
Appreciate the fam.
Watching it and enjoy it, going up and hang out with them. Appreciate Jesse for babysitting Raj today. Shout
out to Jesse, man. Cool dude. I like him. Yeah.
Cool dude. Yep.
Yeah.
And shout out to Club Shay Shay's cognac. That's all.
Yes.
This Tuesday, we're not sure what we're doing yet. We'll figure that out and let everybody know. We'll be back next Saturday. I'll be at the beach, so half naked brother-in-law may show up again. Just letting you know. So, just being honest. And then after that, the summer series will conclude the next 3 weeks coming up. So, appreciate y'all, everybody.
Appreciate everybody.
Have a good night. Drink responsibly. Raj, send us out.
Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Love y'all.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Love y'all.